DuPont innovation lowers LCOE by increasing cell efficiencies and system lifetime while reducing total system cost. Materials matter.
Hello and welcome to the PV Tech Newscast. The top stories this week. New research shows that polysilicon and wafer manufacturing costs are set to drop to a record low. The state of Arizona experiences protests against its solar net metering charge. The Suntech saga continues. And the Solar Energy Foundation launches a relief appeal to help those affected by Typhoon Haiyan. According to analysis by NPD Solarbuzz, manufacturing costs for Tier 1 integrated polysilicon and PV wafer producers are set to hit a record low of 20 cents per watt in 2014. The market research firm said that although the predicted 6% fall in costs next year will not equal the average 16% decrease they have seen annually since 2008, a hugely competitive market will continue to spur manufacturers to drive down costs. According to Solarbuzz, manufacturers are relocating their polysilicon operations to areas with low electricity costs and replacing manufacturing capacity using the so-called Siemens manufacturing process with fluidized bed reactor plant. Solarbuzz said manufacturers had reported being able to cut costs using FBR to less than $10 per kilogram. As recently reported on the PV Tech Newscast, Solarbuzz has recently forecast end market demand to reach 45 to 50 gigawatts next year. And now the firm is saying that further cost reductions should help manufacturers return to profit. In fact, at such level of demand, the 7 polysilicon manufacturers it regards as Tier 1 are all likely to return to high utilization rates, helping pay back fixed costs. Solarbuzz also said that increasing demand should shore up polysilicon and wafer prices, possibly even pushing them up, although this is likely to be dampened by extreme competition and tight production capacity. Arizona has become the first US state to introduce a charge on rooftop PV users in what America's solar industry has described as a precedent-setting action. At the end of a 2-day hearing over an increasingly contentious issue, the Arizona Corporation Commission voted 3-2 in favor of allowing state utility Arizona Public Service to impose a 70 cents per kilowatt charge on solar net metering customers. The Arizona Public Service, or APS, had argued that the charge was necessary to offset the cost the growing number of solar systems passed on to non-solar ratepayers. The utility said that net metering customers, who are able to claim credit on excess power fed back into the grid, effectively shift the cost of maintaining the grid onto ratepayers that don't use solar. The ACC commissioners narrowly upheld this claim, voting for a charge that will be imposed on all new systems built after December 31st this year. The fee is expected to hit solar users to the tune of around $5 per month. Arizona has become the biggest battleground over the solar net metering issue in the US, with APS revealed to have been secretly funding an anti-solar lobbying campaign. The issue has also polarized public opinion. At the start of the ACC hearing, an estimated 1,000 pro-solar campaigners turned out to protest against the charges being proposed by APS. Continuing a long-running story, the saga of Suntech Wushi's bankruptcy may potentially be drawing to a close. Confirming our report in last week's newscast, a Wuxi court has approved Shunfeng Photovoltaic International's purchase of Suntech Power's manufacturing arm. Suntech Wushi's factories will increase their output with all outstanding wages and taxes to be paid in full. Ongoing contractual obligations will be fulfilled. Shunfeng has already intimated that it would resume production lines that have previously been closed. An additional 1 gigawatt of module production could resume, and a 1.6 gigawatt cell production line closed since August 2012 could be brought up to a level of 1.2 gigawatts after the acquisition is settled. Under the terms of the deal, Shunfeng will also pay all the administrator's costs and repay some of the $1.75 billion in debts owed to Chinese creditors. Those creditors owed less than 100,000 RMB will be paid in full by Shunfeng. Chinese debts above that value will be paid at around 30% of what they are due. It is unclear whether the near $500 million in debts owed to foreign investors will be paid. However, a further question mark hanging over the deal is whether it will be subject to any legal challenge. Last week, liquidators working on behalf of Suntech Power Holdings, Suntech's parent company based in the Cayman Islands, questioned whether the Shunfeng deal could go ahead without the approval of Power Solar Systems, a subsidiary of Suntech Power Holdings that they claimed still legally owned Wuxi Suntech. They claim, however, that the issue will be resolved soon and that Suntech's production can continue as normal shortly. And finally, Solar Energy Foundation Germany and its counterpart in the Philippines have launched an appeal for aid to help those areas worst affected by Typhoon Haiyan. One of the consequences of the typhoon, which was one of the worst natural disasters ever to hit the Philippines and one of the strongest tropical storms ever recorded, has been a collapsing of energy supplies. The Philippines Solar Energy Foundation is attempting to provide solar equipment for relief efforts. This will include providing equipment to help search and rescue operations, hospitals, relief centres and communications. According to both the organisations, due in part to the worsening security situation, which has seen widespread looting, being able to provide light at night time is a vital aspect of relief work. The foundation, known in Germany as Stiftung Solar Energy, works for rural development and poverty alleviation by providing solar energy in rural and marginalised areas worldwide. Their efforts to date have included replacing dirty and dangerous kerosene lamp lighting in Ethiopia with solar. The foundation has already done extensive work through the Philippines Solar Energy Foundation, with projects including the provision of off-grid solar-powered lighting and rental schemes for portable solar lamps. For more information on how to contribute to the relief effort, please visit the website printed below. And that's all for this newscast. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday, and in the meantime you can keep up to date with all the very latest news via our website and our Twitter feed. Thanks for watching.